Welcome back to another episode of TVGP's Critical Misses, when we watch every hit we missed. I'm your host, Boston. Joining me, as always, is Moonpier.
You need to stop using the word every. You need to stop using every.
Everything, every piece of media. We've been recording for a really long time today, and we usually record this very early. We're recording this after TVGP, so if this is accidentally spicy, that's why.
Have you seen Leon the Professional?
Not in a good long time.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure, because anytime you say every and then you enunciate everything like that, it just makes me think
everyone. Yeah. We're not watching Leon the Professional this time. We're watching 2012's Prometheus. The
audible call. Call it.
The alien adjacent film. In some form or fashion. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. We'll do the usual thing. I have some things I need to say about this.
Okay.
Let's get you done first and foremost. Phrasing. What do you know about this movie? I already know you know the director because
right. This. I know that Ridley Scott returns to the alien-ish universe. I remember people being not angry, because there's always somebody angry about everything, so that carries no weight. I remember people being frustrated, maybe disappointed about this one, saying yeah, it's good, but did it have to be an aliens adjacent thing? You could have left out blankety blank spoiler that no one ever talks about, because that didn't add anything. These alien things didn't add anything to the movie. I know that this has kind of a real killer cast on it. I know Michael... So here's the thing. I know Michael Fassbender is in this, but the weird thing is, I like Michael Fassbender as an actor. I feel like he's largely well regarded as an actor.
Yeah.
I've heard literally nothing about his performance in this movie, which makes me worry that he's been wasted in this movie. His potential has been squandered.
Here is my counterpoint.
Sure.
To that. This movie came out in 2012.
Mm-hmm.
The year before that, he was Eric Lensher in X-Men First Class.
So good.
And his Magneto kind of outshines everything.
That's fair, yeah.
And then, 2 years later, he's doing the next X-Men movie, and lo and behold, it's 2 years after this, he's doing Days of Future Past.
Right.
He's continuing his Magneto role. So one could argue that maybe his time as Magneto stole away from this kind of thing.
Sure.
He was also in 12 Years a Slave, Macbeth, and a bajillion other things which are towering performances. So
yeah, and I feel like the main thing I maybe because it's so recent, I feel like I have absorbed a lot less via osmosis, other than people saying it's a pretty good movie that didn't need to have this aliens shadow looming over it, whether that's fair or unfair.
Okay.
I am excited to watch it.
Yes, because this is where the Audible came up. So if you can't remember 2 weeks ago, we literally called the Audible in the middle of the show because Boston was talking about, I will watch Prometheus.
I'm excited to watch both of these next two movies just to see, what are these things? I'll watch another Ridley Scott movie, sure. Why the heck not?
So do you remember a couple of weeks ago, speaking of the cast, a couple of weeks ago we were talking about, I think it was on a pre-show, we were talking about twinned movies and how Venom Upgrade are twinned movies.
Yeah.
And Venom has Tom Hardy, and then Upgrade has Discount Tom Hardy in it.
Diet Tom Hardy, yeah.
Yeah, Discount Tom Hardy is in this movie, just so you know.
Okay. Okay. Interesting.
It's Logan Marshall Green. If you want to look him up at any point, that's Discount Tom Hardy. You will probably get the gist of who it is anyway, because it's Discount Tom Hardy.
Hold on. That dude looks just like Tom Hardy. What the heck?
Uh-huh.
That's that's crazy. Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's crazy how much he looks like Tom Hardy, and it's
Yeah.
crazy how much like he
That's
kind of
wild.
sounds like Tom Hardy. And he's very good at facial acting too, which is one of
Mm.
Tom Hardy's kind of what
Yeah.
things he's known for.
Interesting.
So yes, Discount Tom Hardy, now starring in the Critical Mrs. Universe
Right.
in Prometheus.
Right.
Now, we will hit proper Tom Hardy at some point as well. I already know that because there's like 4 Tom Hardy movies on our list. So that's
Yes.
great.
Yeah.
So, the thing I wanted to talk about with this is, can you name another franchise that was very well regarded, mostly, then disappeared for a long number of years, and then came back with a new movie in the franchise?
Are we talking about a war that happened in the stars?
We are talking about a war that happened in the stars.
Yeah.
2 times in my life, I have witnessed uncompromising global hype levels.
Yeah.
Star Wars
Mm-hmm.
and Prometheus.
And
Actually,
to be fair, the hype train here in late June 2021, the hype train for the next Matrix movie has not yet started. I'm a little worried looking off in the distance. We're seeing that train approaching.
Dude, I just realized we had Star Wars twice.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, we did. Because, boy, Star Wars Episode 1's hype train was just barreling down the tracks.
Don't get me wrong, there are other movie franchises that this has happened to as well. Mad Max is a fine example. There was a very long time between 3 and Fury Road. But the global hype didn't exist. Mad Max fans are like, hell yeah, give me another Mad Max. But that hype didn't exist on the level that it existed for Star Wars.
No,
and it doesn't exist on the level that it did for Aliens.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my viewing of this movie is set against that backdrop.
New Aliens movie. It's just like
watching the hype build up,
mm-hmm.
like because this thing took so long to make because minor spoilers.
Sure.
This is not an Alien movie.
Right.
This was adjusted into an Alien movie.
I see. So it like brushed up against the Xenomorph wiki page and sort of came off with a little bit on it.
Oh yeah, it came off with a face hugger attached to it after like just flying a little bit too close to that to that page. I'm pretty sure this was originally written as just a sci-fi movie.
Okay.
And I don't remember the whole thing, but I'm pretty sure the script and everything was not associated with Alien. They needed a director. Ridley Scott liked the script, saw the script, came in, and I'm pretty sure, don't know if it was exactly him, but they tweaked it to invite the Alien universe in, kind of.
They're like, Ridley, how do you feel about the like Xenomorphs? You still okay with that? And he's like, yeah, I mean those movies were pretty good. And they're like, all right, write them in. Let's do it. He said okay.
Yeah, and the only problem with that is for the longest time, like when this thing was getting talked about, it's like it is not an Alien movie.
Right.
It's not an Alien movie.
We're just making a cool sci-fi thing. I know what I've made in the past. Don't worry. It's not a Gladiator sequel. It's not an Alien sequel. Don't even worry about it.
Not that, H.R. Geiger was spotted on set or anything like that, but it's not an Alien movie.
Right.
Not an Alien
Definitely
movie.
not. He's just he's my good friend. He's just hanging out.
Which unfortunately he died in 2014, so this was the last thing he worked on in that franchise.
Right. That's a bummer.
But oh boy. There's a lot I genuinely love about this movie. I haven't seen it since it came out, for the record. This isn't part of the Fast universe where I watch it every year and just love it even more every
right.
year. This is one of those ones where it's like, I think if you stripped all of the Alien out of this, it's a fantastic movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think my issue arrives in the fact that it's an Alien movie.
It's in that gray zone between it's just a sci-fi movie that Ridley Scott directed and it's a brand new Alien movie. It can't sounds like it can't commit either way. Where it's like, yeah, it's a cool sci-fi movie, but look at all this other stuff.
Yeah, I think there are things here which is genuinely cool, and I feel bad as well because this was also the let's get the young starlets of Hollywood. Like Noomi Rapace was put through the ringer with this movie because Noomi Rapace had just finished filming the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo series. Not the Western remake, but the original. I think it's Russian version, maybe
something like that. Yeah, the full trilogy.
Yes, like and in the original language, like
right.
She just finished all of them, and then I remember like a presentation. It might have even been at E3 because it's the only time I watch presentations where Ridley Scott comes out. It might have been at Sony's when they were doing all of that, like movie talk.
And here's some movie stuff, and it's like, wait, what? Why? What?
Yes, and one of those things was Ridley Scott, and one of those things was Noomi Rapace, who is a fine actress, and I think was done a little bit dirty by this movie because it was one of those things where it's like, yeah, we're just going to get everything in this movie. I mean, you already know about Michael Fassbender, you know about Discount Tom Hardy, so I'm sure if Tom Hardy's schedule was free, he would be in it as well.
Probably, yeah.
Noomi Rapace is in it. Like, do you know any of the other casts? I mean,
no.
Ridley Scott himself is going to cost a fair amount of money, I imagine, as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is... You're probably... I'm lowering these expectations as far as I can, by the way.
Well,
I want you to enjoy this, but I want you to know the struggles of somebody like me who went in with an idea, and that idea is questionable at the end of it.
And I think that's going to be the interesting thing for the second half of the episode, is going to be, I don't have the long history of the Alien movies. My long history is like the past month and a half of these movies. So it's not like decades upon decades of excitement and rewatching and stuff. Obviously, I love the first two movies, and you know, you've listened to all. You have hopefully listened to all the other episodes in this season. But that's part of why I'm kind of excited to watch Prometheus. Is there were these expectations, and there were these goals, and there was all this feedback about Prometheus, and I don't have the like super personal ties to those movies, so I'm curious to see how I feel about this alien adjacent thing.
So this was written by Damon Lindelof, or partly written by David Lindelof.
Okay.
Which, if you ignore modern day Lindelof, because modern day Lindelof in 2021 has just finished one of the best TV shows on the planet in Watchmen.
I liked that show a lot.
Let's go back to 2010, Damon Lindelof, who just finished working on Lost.
Wow. Okay. So some expectations there.
You go straight from Lost to this, essentially.
Wow. Okay.
And considering how Lost ended as well.
Right.
I don't think he was the master of his craft yet. He's definitely getting there.
Yeah. He's a promising star.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yes, written by Damon Lindelof, the cast in this will blow you away. And I know it will, even the ones that you don't know yet.
Yeah.
There's so many people in this that it's just like, wait, you're in this?
Right, you're popping up? Yeah.
And you're in this?
Yeah, keeping with the series, it's like watching a Fast and Furious movie. It's like, who's in here? Hold on a minute.
Throw out a huge actor or actress, and let's just one or two, and we'll see if you can get them.
Since we just watched Fast 9, let's say Charlize Theron. Oh no! Did I get another one?
Yep. Who did?
Okay. Helen Mirren, is she in this one?
No, Helen Mirren is not in this one.
Driving a car into space. Beep beep. What's up?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Get the space break for me, darling.
Yeah, that's right. God. Okay, well, on that note, do you have any parting thoughts here for Prometheus before we go watch it?
No.
Okay.
I am going into this as open-eyed as I can to try and
Yeah.
appreciate it on a different level. Like I said,
Ditto.
I haven't seen it since,
Right.
so
Did you see it in the theater when it came out?
yes, I
Oh,
did.
okay. Okay.
I'm pretty sure I saw this in the theater with my dad because I was just so pumped about it, and we used to go to the movies like every week. So it's
Right.
just like, what's the new movie coming out? Let's go watch it.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, on that note, let's go watch Prometheus then.
Like the plan.
Welcome back to part 2. We finished watching Prometheus, 2012's Prometheus, with no colon or anything, which is kind of refreshing here.
That's the next movie.
yeah, that's the next one. Boy, Moon, at the beginning you said there's everybody in this movie, and yeah, just everybody is in this movie, including Guy Ritchie. I love, and I haven't seen in anything in a while.
Yeah, in like the smallest part ever that he probably shouldn't have been in, to be honest, let's face it.
A little bit of a bummer where, like, in the first time he shows up on screen, I was sort of like, is that Guy Ritchie? Like, it sounds like him. So I looked it up and I was like, okay, well, hopefully nope, he's off the screen. Okay.
Yep.
Bye, Guy Ritchie. I'll see you again in about 2 hours.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Okay, shall we start with
the beginning?
Yeah. Because I forgot, like, I watched this movie like 1.5 times because I watched it once just through, and I watched it a half time as I was starting to make notes, and I got fed up and stopped taking notes. So you're going to carry us through this episode, just so you're aware.
Well, I think the most striking thing for me here at the beginning is how beautiful this movie is, and how it's just like, look at this serene Scottish countryside. We're just going to sweep slowly over it.
Oh, the Scottish one is in Scotland, but the one before that is Iceland, I believe.
Yep. Yeah. It's so just like, look at how cool this looks.
Immediately about the engineers, like, just straight out dropping that right at the beginning.
Yeah, it's a little. Can we talk about how the engineers look? It's
giants with the 12 packs.
Yeah, these like buff Squidwards is all I was really able to see the whole time. Which is just like,
thank you. I will never see them again. Again.
It's a real bummer. It's just they look fine, but it's a little bit like I was immediately surprised at how close to humans they look, which I gesture to the entire of the 2.5-hour runtime of this movie. But it's a little bit like, all right, this guy looks kind of neat. Look at this waterfall. I drank something. That doesn't look good. Oh, he fell apart. Oh, he melted. Oh, okay. Prometheus.
Did you get immediately what that was, by the way? Because I didn't.
No.
That's the engineers seeding life on Earth.
Ah, great. Okay. No, that's why okay. Yep. Okay. Putting it together. Great. I do like the Prometheus logo sort of comes in exactly like the Alien logo does. There are a lot of visual effects in this movie that I 100% dig. We talked about the Guy Ritchie Wayland, like, I'm in this room with my...
The hologram.
Yeah, the hologram where it, like, unfolds from the middle, like scaffolding. That stuff looks really cool. The memories that David is watching, where it's like... almost looks like...
Dreams.
Yeah, it almost looks like 3D dot matrix. Like, there's so many cool effects to this stuff in the movie that I think it feels very reminiscent of some of the stuff the older movies was trying to do. And now that they have the tech to make CG look really good, I like that they're just like, yeah, but it still kind of looks old-ish.
Yeah, so, okay, let's talk about this straight away. Okay, so we meet Noomi Rapace, we meet Discount Tom Hardy.
Who is Discount Tom Hardy really good in this movie.
Honestly,
he's great.
Genuinely a fantastic actor. I
Yeah.
cannot wait until we watch Upgrade and Venom and watches Logan Marshall Green axe the pants out of Tom Hardy.
Oh
It's
man,
fantastic.
great. Yeah, Numi
Um,
Rapace, really good in this too. She
uh,
doesn't do a whole ton until she does everything in the movie in about the second half.
yep. Um, and yeah, like then we jump straight to the spaceship, which there is a hand wavy thing to do here, which is
Mm-hmm.
this takes place before Alien.
Correct.
Why is this ship so incredible? And in the
Yeah.
Star Wars is a hunk of junk.
Right.
The brush off line used in this movie is, well, my company spent $1 trillion on
Yes.
this vessel. And
Yep.
it's a research vessel. It's not a tugboat, it's a research vessel.
Yeah, it's
So
not like a working space trucker machine. Yeah.
yes. So that's the hand wavy explanation of that, which I'm fine with,
Yeah,
considering I can
it's okay. Yeah.
the things I've waved off for the Fast movies, I will happily wave off that. It's
Yeah,
absolutely fine.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Um
Um, and yeah, David, we meet David himself,
yeah.
Michael Fassbender.
Yeah. My concerns about Michael Fassbender being wasted in this part were pretty true. Um, I I get what he was going for, and I get what the writers were going for, but I feel like it never. How do I put this? It never. It stayed in the middle. It was never like um Aliens, where it's like, all right,
Mm-hmm.
that dude is an android. Like he's super weird. He just like he's a little vacant. Like it's just he's a little off, and it's
The key,
never.
Mr. Potter, is not caring that it hurts.
That's right. Like it just and there. It seems like they tried to infuse David with like this like childlike curiosity slash the way that kids can be almost kind of mean slash vicious because they
Mhm.
just don't know. But
Yup.
they like didn't go far enough that way because I feel like the thing in the back of my mind the whole time is, okay, is this guy really an android? Because we haven't really seen any proof up until like
Mhm.
the very end. Yeah, and like there's all this thing where like obviously wait
I don't know, dude, riding a bike in circles and shooting a 3-pointer, that's probably proof that he's an android.
that's a good point. Um, I don't know. Ripley did some cool stuff in Alien 3 though. Or
That
no,
was
that
full.
was 4. Thank you. But you know, it's very clearly that everybody doesn't respect him. Even Wayland hates him, which is like, yeah, man, look at this stupid robot I made, this dumb puppet. Whatever. Get back to
He's
work,
never going to
nerd.
have a soul. And his face when he says he's never going to have a soul is a touch of masterclass acting where it drops just a little bit.
Yep.
Um, During the hologram scene as well, did you catch the really nasty business towards Charlize Theron's character?
No, and that's part of why I want to watch it again because obviously Shirley's character, what's her name?
Meredith Vickers. Everyone
Meredith
calls her
Vickers.
Vickers.
Yeah. Um, obviously she has a relationship with Wayland, and I wanted to go back and watch the movie again just to see all these little pokes at her, especially when David. You find out like halfway through the movie that David is speaking to Wayland, and she's
Uh-huh.
very aggressive about what did he say. And now after finishing the movie, it's like, oh, okay, all right. There's a couple layers here. Okay.
Yeah, so in the very first hologram scene, when Wayland is introducing David,
Yep.
um, he refers to him as the son he never had,
Oh,
and what a
wolf.
son he would be if he wasn't, if he only had a soul, essentially, kind of thing.
Right.
Never once mentioning the fact that he has a daughter who is standing in the room.
Literally next to him. Yeah. Wolf. That's rough. Yeah. Um. Yeah. I feel like we get an introduction to all of these team members. Idris Elba
I was going to say, this is where we get the cast rundown, isn't it?
Yeah, Idris Elba as Janek does okay. I like his character. I feel like I wish he was in like one more scene just to kind of solidify what he does later in the movie, but there's just so much in this movie that I don't think there's enough time to keep him in the movie anymore. Um, yeah, we got Holloway, we got Fifield, who's the
the ginger fella. He
yeah,
look
the
his. I love his look. I just want to
mhm,
say, like his shaved head mohawk. Like
that
I love
tattoo.
rocks. I hate people. This is
Right.
how I love kind of
Yeah,
thing.
he's very like
So good.
I like that he just doesn't want to be there. Like he doesn't really
Uh-huh.
care about what's going on. He clearly got voluntold to be there and just doesn't care and doesn't want to do it.
Voluntold. I like that one.
What's that?
Voluntold. I like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. And then the other one is Milburn. There's the medic too, Ford, and then there's a bunch of other people that
Hold
work on the
on.
ship.
We can't run past Melbourne without mentioning that that's Rafe Spall, who you
Yeah,
last saw in Hot Fuzz as one of the two Andys.
yeah, that's true. That's true. Oh man, yeah, yeah. I like that they get onto the surface and they immediately go in there because it's Christmas and he wants to open his presents. Um,
Uh-huh. God
and
doesn't build in straight lines is a quality line.
that's a really good line. Like that was one of the lines in the movie where I'm like, yeah, that's some quality business here. Um, I like that they immediately just get in there and then Charlie starts playing fast and loose with literally everything.
Mm-hmm.
Which he's just like, it's breathable. All right, let's take off this helmet. No big deal. What else is in the air? Who cares? I can breathe down here.
Yeah, and I also love his antagonistic relationship with David, where
Yes,
he's like,
he
David,
really doesn't like him.
why are you wearing a suit?
Right? What are you doing, bro?
Like, you don't breathe. Why are you wearing a suit? It's like the reason why I look the way I look is because your kind doesn't like things that don't look like you.
Yeah, which is
If I was
also
to go without a suit, it
yeah,
would destroy the illusion.
yeah. Which is a good piece of business from David. Um, I like that they start exploring and they don't really find anything except for a decapitated engineer after quite a while. I
Uh-huh.
like that
Well,
the
that's after David, who has used the 2 years or whatever it is, and while everybody else is in hypersleep, learning dead languages.
yeah to like try and figure out how to speak to them and read their stuff in the hopes
Uh-huh.
that they're there. Um,
He activates the stupid hologram, and it's like everyone very clearly running away from something. Why
right.
would you go there?
Yeah, let's keep going. Let's keep going there. I do like the I think it's a cool piece of technology that I think it's Fifield sends up those
Oh, the
seeker,
drones.
yeah, like the mapping drones. I like those. I like the like red hologram. I like seeing in the ship. It's just building this cool big hologram of this. Later they call it a pyramid, but it's like mapping out the entire pyramid. I think that's pretty cool, and I like that they find a decapitated engineer and they're just like, all right, let's figure it out. It's like, okay, sure, why not?
Uh-huh. And
Great.
David opens the door.
Yeah. And they find the head and they find a lot of stuff in there that they don't quite know what it is.
Well, it's dusty and dry at first, and then
Right.
all of a sudden, atmosphere is in. The head starts to needs to
Black
be
goop.
back,
Yeah.
and yeah,
And then
the
a big storm is incoming, so they take the head,
uh-huh.
which of course they do. And then David squirrels away one of those canisters, one of the like container things. And they bring both of those back to the ship.
It's also worth mentioning at this point, Fifield and Milburn have left because they're
Yes.
terrified and probably get
Which
lost.
fair. Don't
Uh-huh.
blame them. And they get trapped in the pyramid as this like big electrical kind of
It's,
storm pulls through.
yeah, it's electrical and silicon flying
Yeah.
through the air.
Yeah.
So have fun with that.
Yeah. Um So they're back there. They crack open the helmet and they find a human-ish face in there, which of course they try to reanimate, which like
No,
none
it
of
has
these.
growth. It has growth on it, and they're trying to fool the growth into thinking it's still alive.
Yeah, which of course will turn out fine, right? Because nobody in movies has ever watched a movie. So of course they push it too far and it explodes, which is great. Some interesting. I feel like I can't tell if that's CG or practical, where the head is freaking out, and I'm not sure if that's a good or bad thing.
I will give this movie a lot of credit. There is a lot of practical and a lot
Yep.
of CG mixed in, and sometimes it's hard to tell the difference.
Yep.
Like for all I know, they could have really built that like hologram map on the middle of the table. They
Yeah.
didn't,
Yeah.
but they
Who
could
knows?
have.
We got holograms now. You know, who knows what they can do? And then, of course, David is squirreled away somewhere else on the ship, and decides to do a little bit of an experiment with the black goop and puts it in a celebratory drink for Charlie, and says, "All right, drink up, jerkface." And
So,
yeah,
question for you: at this point, is David the bad guy for you?
he
Or
is.
is he more like of an innocent scientist in this? Like science can be innocent in some cases.
I think he is neither. For me, he's one of those like cautionary tales for scientific morality, where it's like, yeah, you could do this experiment, but you really shouldn't. We're all asking the question, man, like, what does this do to people? Interesting. You can't just go do it. Like, there's this, they're drawing the line here where there's this lack of humanity and lack of morality as a result from David, and he's just saying, well, we need to know, right? This guy's a jerk to me, so he's probably the best one.
I was gonna say that's something I might have to go back and rewatch that scene again, because I'm pretty sure he doesn't put the goop in the water until Charlie is a d-bag to him.
Right, I think you're right.
Because they have a long, protracted conversation about meeting your makers and so on and so forth.
And Charlie's just throwing up verbal middle fingers the whole time, where it's like, oh, I'm David. Oh, I have questions. Oh, we found a dead engineer. They're dead. They're not here.
Like, why did you build me? Because we could. Now, you imagine hearing that from the people who... who built
the people
you.
that made you. Yeah. Which, pretty good line. Some pretty solid writing in some of this stuff.
And like they have this nasty relationship backwards and forwards, where I think Holloway is an androidist. I don't think he believes in the rights of androids because he treats them as second-class citizens.
Right.
Insert suitable racism allegory here.
100%. We've always hated the dark elves. It's like, oh boy, okay.
David does his little dip. Things go south, we'll say.
Yeah, Charlie goes to find what's her name?
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth. Dr. Shaw goes to find.
David has a weird fascination with from the get-go in this movie.
Yeah, which we later find out why, but it's uncomfortable through almost all of it.
I think the reason he has the fascination with her is because Wayland is obsessed with her, because she's the one who persuaded Wayland. She's the one who brought it to Wayland.
She gave him his final hope.
Yeah, and I think David is fascinated as to why his father is fascinated with this other human. So that's why he watches her dreams. That's why he's always making sure she's okay. That's why he goes out in the storm to save her.
Sure. Yeah, they they have a bit of a romantic interlude here. Then they
after discovering that Elizabeth is essentially barren as well.
Right, and also you find out that this is where Elizabeth shows Charlie that, these people are humans? Like, the DNA is real close to our DNA, and that's real weird, so we should probably go back in the pyramid. And Charlie is of course like, hell yeah, man, let's go back in there. Let's try and find something, I guess. At the same time, I think this is where the two guys that are still trapped in the pyramid are freaking out.
Yep.
They're
lost.
Yeah, Idris Elba's like, hey man, there's like a ping over here. There's like, I don't know, it just went away. Don't worry about it. Anyways, good night. And they're just like, wait, what? Wait, what? What's inside me?
What ping? You would not be calm if you said what ping.
No,
like,
and they found a giant pile of dead engineers, like that are concerningly high, and then they find just a tiny river of black goop. No big deal. So let's go close to it. Oh, look at this little eyeball. Look at this little guy.
About the weird flesh snake.
I don't like that thing.
One of the most disturbing scenes in the entire movie, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, there's probably like 2 scenes that are skin crawly in this movie, and him.
Does the other one involve the medical machine for you?
It sure does.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just making sure.
Yeah.
That scene is.
I really like that he's so much of a scientist, where it's like, I just need to know, look at how friendly it seems. Oh, look, it has an eye. Open its eye. Look at it.
Beautiful. Aren't you great? Calm down. Aren't you gorgeous?
All right.
Like,
look at this little scamp. Yeah, and then, of course, the weird fleshy snake thing grabs onto his arm. So
promptly breaks it.
Yeah, promptly breaks it, which is... Oh, that's a shot. Whew. The perfect shot and the perfect sound effect there is just like, ooh. And then, of course, they decide, in alien fashion, let's just cut it off. Oh no, toxic blood. Spray. And then, oh no, it's on my face. Spray. Yeah.
Because why not?
Yeah, it just leave. Just get out of there. Yeah. So both of them, bad shape.
I do like the fact that it's the biologist who finds the weird snake, though, because he's like, "Oh, yes, now is my time to shine."
Right. Look at this new thing. Yeah.
And now we have biology to discuss. Which
so they go back in the pyramid. Things are not going well for Charlie almost immediately. Before they go, when they wake up the next day, he finds the thing in his eye, which gross, forever gross. Don't like it, gross.
A little wiggly worm coming out the eye. Yeah.
Woof, boy. So he gets he's having a bad sick day down there.
Yeah, like they're going to try and find Fifield and Milburn. And for whatever reason, Charlie decides to go along as well. Because, sure.
Clearly not feeling well.
I think they find Milburn. Yes, they find Milburn. And try and bring him back to the ship.
Yep.
And, yeah. Vic is doing the responsible thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the flamethrower. That dude is sick. We don't know why. He doesn't get to go on the ship, man. All the rest of you, let's get on the ship. Come on, let's go. But I got the flamethrower. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Come on.
Yep. And then Charlie does a good thing. He actually shows he can be a decent person.
Yeah. Set me on fire. Charlize Theron.
Do it. Like, literally do it. Like, please do it.
Yeah.
There is something wrong with me. I have gone all grey face and zombie.
Right. Yeah, I like that even Elizabeth is just like, nah, he's fine. It's like, no, man, he's bad. Like, he's not in good shape, dude. You gotta not worry about this. Yeah, so she sets him on fire, which, to be fair, is probably the right thing to do.
Yes. Shaw calls quarantine procedures, and on the way back to the ship, and because she's called that, everybody has to have a conversation and tests and full scans. And that's when we find out about Shaw's problem.
Yeah, Shaw is expecting not a human baby, which it's I actually really like that delivery where she's just like, I can't be pregnant. I also can't be 3 months pregnant. Like, this is not right here. Like, what's inside me? And David is essentially like, well, it's not a traditional child. And it's like, oh god. So she
he seems so happy. when things go south, the scientist in him is just like, let's
watch this. Let's see it. This is a really, for me, this was a really great scene where she's just like, okay, I need to go get to that expensive medical surgical table that Charlize Theron shooed me away from at the beginning. I gotta go use that thing to get whatever's in me out. Let's dash on over there.
And then she starts to operate the machine, and what does the machine say to her?
It is calibrated for a male. And I was like, why? my question was like, wait, sorry? What is, okay, interesting. So she eventually figures out that she can just say, oh, I need surgery to remove like a foreign thing inside of me. Let's get on in here. And then it pulls out one of the grossest things I have seen. Like, just the slow extraction out of her abdomen is real bad, and that thing all curled up in there is just woof. And then, of course, it's just like, hey, what's up? I'm awake. Blah, 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 squid thing.
And yeah, it pusses all over the place as it explodes out the bag, which is just so...
And at the same time, it's stapling her stomach together, where it's just like, she's fighting this thing off, and it's like, chunk, 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 chunk. It's like, oh, God.
Yeah. So, this is my biggest issue with this movie. Because this, number one, this scene is gross. It's well done.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
It's intense.
It's meant to shock you, and it is shocking in its execution. But the thing I've always loved about the Alien franchise is it is an allegory for men to understand what sexual assault can be like.
Sure.
Like, there is a very large amount of that in the first Alien movie, where it's like, yeah, guess what? Something gets put inside you against your will, and then it bursts out of you also against your will.
Right.
Welcome to being a woman, kind of thing.
Right.
And in this movie, the thing that annoys me the most is they do it to a woman.
Yeah, it's like missing the inherent point. And along with, like, kind of missing the point of even the first 4 movies, where it's sort of like, here's what capitalism does to the universe. Obviously, capitalism is bad. And you sort of miss those themes, the larger themes here in this one.
Yeah, like, don't get me wrong, like, I do think Naomi Rapace, like, she acts the hell out of this. I do think the scene is genuinely shocking, and I don't like watching it, because it makes me that uncomfortable.
Well, especially when the thing wakes up and she's still trapped in there with it. She's like desperately trying not to touch it, and then she, of course, escapes and then
has to slide out the bottom, of course.
Yeah, it's rough, and she essentially like tries to kill it inside of the tube. Obviously, because it's a horror movie, it's not going to be dead in there. But I mean that is, I feel like that is one of the most obvious things. And she decides to go find the rest of the crew and finds Wayland alive in the ship with David and his daughter Vickers, which a whole lot going on there. I do really like the exosuit that he is putting on.
I think because he wants to meet his maker. Like, that's the whole reason this is, he wants to meet his maker. Which we did forget to mention that David did a whole bunch of extra. Yeah,
David went to go poke around the pyramid by himself and finds more of those holograms. Finds them starting something up that finds the Earth, and finds one of the engineers still alive in one of the stasis pods. So of course, gotta wake up Wayland. He wants to go find them, and we find out because he wants to live forever. And of course, who would help him live forever other than the people who made him?
Like you said, the exosuit is great. I love the conversation that he has with Vickers, where she's like, "Look, kings rise, kings fall, kings die. That is what happens."
It's a great line.
He's like snatches his hand away and is like, not necessarily kind of thing. It's like, you really are the richest man on the planet, and you really are that stupid.
Right. We also missed the sequence where Janek figures out what the pyramid holds inside of it, and when he is rotating that thing, I was like, please be the horseshoe ship. It's the coolest thing in the Aliens movies. I really want to see this. There it is. Yep, awesome.
Yep, and
the ship is dope.
Like it's on it's underneath the front of it essentially.
Yep.
And I can't remember who it is that puts it all together, but someone's like, yeah, this isn't their home planet. This is like a weapons lab.
I think that's Janek too. When after that Wayland scene, I think he goes to find Elizabeth, and he's like, "We gotta go. This is like a biological weapon, like military facility. We shouldn't be here. I don't care what happens. We need to go. We're not soldiers. We're all scientists. Let's get to stepping." And
it has the whole conversation of, hey, if any of that crap goes home,
right, there won't be a home.
Yes.
Yeah. So of course, the whole crew goes down to find the engineers. They wake up the last remaining Buff Squidward, and David says something to him, which makes him kill everybody except for Dr. Shaw, and then
that's just because she's quick enough to run away. Everybody else is slow.
Yeah, and I feel like Wayland was bothering the engineer more than she was, so he's just like, I need to shut this dude up for real.
David's head off, doesn't he, as well?
He does, yeah. He just, like, rips David apart with just, like, here we go, zoop.
The height difference as well I really like, because, like, yes.
Yeah, these dudes are, like, 15 feet tall, so... the engineer brings out, essentially, what looks like a giant gun / the thing that they walk into. Yeah,
yep.
In the first movie at the very beginning. And... decides, like, yeah, it's probably time for me to get off this planet too, now that I'm awake. Alright, let's start firing up the ship and let's go. So, in a scene that I really liked, Janek is like, okay, we've got this life support thing. It will support someone for 2 years. You have about 40 seconds to figure out if you want to get in there or not. I'm going to ram this thing into that other ship. So, be here or don't. That's your choice. Let's go.
And he's like, he says to his co-pilots, like, yeah, like, now's the time to get off, boys. And they're like, no, we're good. You couldn't do this without us. And I feel like the two co-pilots are massively underused, including Benedict Wong. Like,
yeah, it's a real bummer.
Like, it's so underused, but they're so good. Like, those three, you get the thing that this is their ship.
Mm-hmm.
They are the best at what they do, kind of thing. Like, I like the fact that it's like the layout of the Prometheus is great, with like the pilot at the very front, right against the glass, and the two people like controlling the engines and stuff off to his side.
It's real cool.
Like, it's a really cool layout, and they're like, yeah, let's turn ourselves into a bullet, shall we?
Yep. Yeah, and he ejects the life support pod, which they talk about at the beginning, that Vickers' sort of area is like a life support area. Yeah, self-sustained for a while. So they eject that. She gets off the ship. Elizabeth gets off the ship as well.
Elizabeth is trying to run back to the ship because she's
that's right. Yeah, it's doing that cool like unfolding thing where the ship is going to come out of the ground. I liked that a lot. And
the horseshoe ship takes off, and
then doesn't take off.
What Idris Elba does.
Right. Real good hands-off scene when they all... I like that piece of realism there. And yeah, the horseshoe ship goes down, and...
This is the meme moment, by the way.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
What's
because
the meme
why
here?
Wouldn't you run sideways?
Right. Yeah. Like it's a cool like exciting moment. Like, look at this cool thing that sounds great, smushing. But yes, it's very much like just run 90 degrees either way.
Run straight line underneath the path of the thing.
Right.
And then when Shaw falls over, she rolls over twice and is out of the impact zone.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not like the ship is not that big. So thankfully Vickers gets smushed. Elizabeth sort of is running out of oxygen. She goes, "Well, we got this downed craft over here. Let me go hang out there. Maybe try and heal myself up. Take a little break as the last person on this planet, and we'll see what's going on." And David says, "Hey, Elizabeth, what's going on?" She's like, "Oh God, oh, you're still alive? Great. What do you want?" He's essentially like, "Well, that wasn't the only ship. You want to get off this rock? I know how to do it. I don't have a body, but you can help me. Also, the engineer's coming for you. That's what that sound is. Also, that squid, real big now, really wants to kill you. So, what are you gonna do?" Her answer is, "I'm gonna feed the engineer to the squid," in a scene that is pretty gross all the way up until all 6 of its eyes open and its mouth, and then it's truly really gross.
It gives you an idea of the strength of the engineers, though, because that engineer is like feet braced against that door.
Yeah.
For a long time, being like, you ain't getting me, punk.
Right. I know what you are, kind of, but you're not. This isn't gonna happen. Until it does, and that the squid thing decides to smush him, eat him, something, which we find out later. So Shaw goes...
There's a hug involved there, but we'll get to that
later. There's a... When a squid and a Squidward love each other. So Elizabeth goes and, I guess, against her will, scoops up David's head, smartly, not his body, and stuffs him in a duffel bag. It's like, all right.
She might have his body too, I'm not sure.
She yeets his body off the side so she can rappel out of the horseshoe ship. Which is a really great scene where it's like, look, this is what you're worth to me right now. I'm going to use you as like a rappel point, and that's it. And then she tells David, like, hey, I'm not going back to Earth. Like, we found the things. We got to go find where they are. Because I need answers now. Like, look at all these dead scientists. Like, I'm not just going to go back home and be like, all right, let's start a farm. Like, let's go find this thing. He goes, okay. Yeah. He says, okay, and the horseshoe ship flies off. And then the final scene in the movie happens where a thing bursts out of the engineer's chest, which is like a proto-xenomorph, which looks fresh as hell. That thing looks dope. The thing is, I like how that thing looks. I like how its like head thing kind of goes back to a point. Really like that it opens its mouth and then like its jaw breaks to have the other mouth come out. Super cool. Super, super, super great.
Almost like implanting an alien in different life forms produces different results.
Ooh, interesting. We'll have to do science about that. But yeah, that's the end of the movie. It's just, hey, look at this proto-xenomorph, the baby of these two things. I largely liked Prometheus. I think it's... Let's talk about it without the connections to the Alien franchise here first.
So we can appreciate it first and foremost before we throw it in the trash.
I think it's a solid science fiction movie with like some horror elements here and there. I like it's a group of scientists. I like there's these grizzled, spaceship pilots, the trio of spaceship pilots who seen and done everything, and they're just, I'm just here to pilot this ship, man. Like, whatever's going on down there, not my problem. That's science stuff.
Yep.
The Charlize Theron kills it again as just this like cold, unfeeling, real good semi-villain. She's really great. I think everybody is really good in this movie, and I think it's a fine science fiction movie.
Yep, I 100% agree. Like, if you detach this thing entirely from the Alien universe, this is a genuinely, like, intriguing, great idea for a science fiction movie.
I think for me, without the alien stuff in it, I think it's like a 3 out of 5. Like it's solid. There's nothing bad. There's nothing outstanding. Like we talked about during the episode, there's a couple of really great lines here and there. Like direction of the movie is fantastic. The set design is incredible. Like everything, all the science looks great. The sweeping vistas are great. The score, fantastic. Like that main theme, really good. And then we get to the alien stuff, which I loved. I'm gonna
really.
I'm gonna be the person that. So here's the thing. I'm turning 40 next month. I don't have like 30-something years worth of Alien fandom and like attachment or personal attachment to the franchise. So for me, all this little stuff here and there that's all like peppered and sprinkled with this little alien flavoring on top of it, I really liked. Like, and
even Buff Squidward.
Buff Squidward's design has problems, but like it's hard to make a huge human look good without it without you just hiring a huge human. You know, like you got to hire someone who's like 8 feet tall and just like a side of beef. Right, like you just hire The Rock and it's like, oh, The Rock is a xenomorph now. It's like, well, no, the Rock is a Disney princess. It's like, no, not really. That's not how this works. But I liked, my thing for this is I wish there was like this perfect universe where I had seen the first 4 Alien movies and someone had somehow told me, you should really watch Prometheus, it's good. Or like Prometheus came out as like Ridley Scott's next science fiction epic. It's like, cool, all right. And just like when Wayland comes on screen, you're just like, wait a minute. From the Alien thing? Like you're the okay. And there's like all this little peppering of Alien, and like just to have that final shot land where it's like, all right, cool. So this was like a Alien prequel of some sort. Like I liked that stuff. I thought that stuff worked well.
I think if you're gonna do that, then the only thing is I think they lean too heavily on the alien stuff. Like, have it be a different race, not the engineers, something else entirely.
Sure.
And then at the very end, have the xenomorph, or I think at this point it's called the neomorph.
Right, it's like a proto-xenomorph.
Yeah, have that thing pop out at the very end. Get rid of Wayland. Get rid of like the very clearly.
Don't like lead up. Like the end should be bam. Here's an alien. It's just like, wait, what?
I think that would have been great, because then maybe you learn that this alien species is like the engineers but different.
Right.
Maybe they're an offshoot of the engineers. Maybe there's somebody else who looked for the engineers too, because the engineers made them. Like,
sure.
There is the whole, like, dropping the bombs the whole way through, because as much as you've phrased it as a sprinkling of alien, this ain't no sprinkling of alien.
There are a couple of when you come out on screen and you're very rich and your last name is Wayland. I mean, come on, like, where's your buddy Yutani? Like,
yes,
yeah.
Fun fact: in Alien versus Predator, there is a different Wayland who dies. And the end stinger for that movie is a Japanese lady representing the Yutani Corporation buying out Wayland.
There you go. Yeah, I feel like I like the Alien movies. I like the Xenomorph. I like this like nightmare capitalistic company that doesn't care about anybody that's in its way. If they're trying to, as they try to get towards whatever dumb idea they're trying to do. I just wish that, I think you're right. I think if they had pulled back a little bit on it, it probably would have been a lot better. Like, make the sprinkling a little bit lighter and just sort of be like, if you're a super fan, you sort of get it.
Deep cuts.
Right. Or lean a little bit more heavily into it and kind of like take that next step into making it kind of a proper Alien movie, but it's too much in the middle For as much as I liked it, it's like a little too much in the middle. It can't figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing I do love about this is it keeps up something from the Alien Extended Universe, which is that the engineers are a-holes.
Yeah.
Because it's explored a little bit in the extended universe, like all of the books and stuff, which I'm sure are non-canonical and so on and so forth at
Oh,
this point,
probably, yeah.
especially now that Disney's got their hands on it.
Right.
But the whole thing with the engineers is they literally uplift planets to see what tech they develop, then wipe them out, and then take that tech and envelope it into their own society. Like take the positives, but they literally will uplift entire species to spacefaring, let them evolve to that point. It's like, that's cool tech that we didn't think of. Now we're just going to kill your entire species and we'll take that tech for ourselves.
Right. It's like, good job, buddies. Anyways, goodbye.
Uh-huh.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I love the don't meet you, make you thing. It's a really good thing where it's like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I liked Prometheus. I think it's a solid movie. It's obviously not one of my favorites here out of the five we've watched. We'll get into our rankings here in the next episode. But I think it's solid. I think it's not a great Alien movie, but I don't think they were going for that. But I think it's a good, solid science fiction movie.
Yeah, literally can't say the same thing about the next movie, because the next movie starts with the word alien.
Yeah, right next movie, Alien Covenant, which, sure, we're just going all the way there. Okay. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.